I just joined. Are the Kerkez talks true? I don't know, is the honest answer. I think so. I would feel confident that there's something to them. But I don't know the person that's made the report, so I can't say for certain. I can't stand for this person, or I can't undermine this person. I don't know, is the honest answer. But what I do know is he is somebody that Liverpool are certainly looking at. So I do think somebody saying that Liverpool are starting these talks, I can see the sensibility in that, considering there is going to be a bit of a race for his signature by the looks of it. Obviously, we've got Richard Hughes, formerly of Bournemouth, and actually I want to go on to talk a little bit about Richard Hughes and how we moved at the right time for him, because apparently Arsenal were considering him if Edu had moved on. So, yeah, look, we will go through that one tonight, but I do believe that there is serious interest there, yes. I don't know, I wouldn't predict when we might see a move because I don't have that information, but it certainly does feel like, yes, this is legitimate interest, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if conversations had started. But look, I will go through it in more detail, Ruspa, and as always, my friend, thank you for being with us. Do you reckon we have a leg up on Kerkez considering Richard Hughes passed and Dom being his national team captain? Congrats on the successful show. Well, look, it's not for me to say if it was successful or not. You know, people that went will make their mind up on that one. But I had a good time. I certainly appreciate everybody coming out. So look, I'm going to give you a few things on Kerkez, and then we'll go from there. So there was news yesterday that came out when we were on stage that said that Liverpool have made Milos Kerkez the club's top target and have now begun talks to sign him. I can't stand over this because I don't know the person who put the story up, but I can absolutely say there's credibility to it 100% from the point of view of he's a player we're looking at for the left side. There's no debating that. I'm going to be speaking with David next week and I'll be able to get into the weeds on this a little bit to get some more information. But as you've said, Nick, you couple in the interest in the player with the fact that Richard Hughes would obviously have background from helping bring him into Bournemouth. You look at the side, the left side is an issue that, yes, we probably do need to address. And I would say, yeah, I would say there is credibility to it. I don't know what stage of the process this might be at, so I don't want to give anybody false information, but it's certainly one that I would say has some credibility to it, yes, which is good, right? Because if we can start boxing off these positions, even if it is one maybe that we may not need a full transition in for a year or two, so be it. I think it's the right way to go. There's some more stuff from Matteo Moretto. So what I gave you was some stuff from Anfield Sector and Anfield Watch in the first part. The second part about Kerkez is Milos Kerkez is on the radar of Liverpool for now. There are no concrete talks about a deal, just initial inquiries, said Matteo Moretto. Then we have, as I said, Anfield Sector crediting Anfield Watch to say Liverpool have made Milos Kerkez the club's top target and have now begun talks to sign him. You couple this with the news the other day that Arsenal and I think a couple of other Premier League sides are looking at the Bournemouth player, and I think it won't be long until he does move on and depart the Vitality for wherever the future may be. And obviously, you know, we wouldn't mind that being Liverpool. Kerkez isn't good enough. Now, Sam Lee's not holding back. Kerkez isn't good enough. I would respectfully disagree. I would say he isn't the finished product yet, nor should he be at his age. But I do feel like we've seen in the Premier League playing for a team that isn't a really, with all due respect to Bournemouth, isn't one that's expecting to be challenging at the top end of the league anytime soon, or at least for the European places, despite the fact Iriola has done a good job. And they've had a shit ton of injuries. I believe Bournemouth have the most injuries, then Ipswich, I think it is, and then Arsenal. So yeah, look, I disagree. I think he would be good enough, but again, we're all just, you know, giving our opinions. So there's no hard and fact science to this. Hard and fact, hard and fast is what I tried to say. Right, what about ENQUIRIES? So as far as I'm aware, Stephen, that interest is still there. And look, I don't know what Liverpool's plan is for the left-back slot. I don't know if we're looking at something in January. I don't know if we're looking at something at the end of the season. I really don't know, because I don't know what to expect around Costas and or Robertson. But I do feel that the more people I've spoken to, and I certainly include David Lynch and other journalists on this, there is a belief that after the midfield situation, that is probably the area that Liverpool are next likely to dip into the market. Unless, of course, we lose Trent on the right side, which I'll move on to in a minute. Kevin Bayless said, I don't want their fans to completely give up hope on Robbo. He's been so good for such a long time for a bargain price. He's just having a bit of a dip. He'll come good. So, honestly, For me, Kevin, if we're talking about left back, I would still be thinking about Costas to move on ahead of Robertson. I trust Arne Slot at his word that he feels like Andy Robertson just didn't have the pre-season and didn't have the fitness levels that he would normally have at this moment. So I agree with you, mate. I don't think Robbo's done yet. I do think we need to be mindful of the next year or two. I do. But still, I would feel like Costas would be the one, and then bring in a younger left back who can put pressure on Robbo, or who we can gradually bring in. And whether that is Kerkez or Yuri might be a little bit different, because I feel like he's more of a body of work in the Premier League than Kerkez. Nazar said, do you think Robbo could prolong his Liverpool career if he retired from Scotland? Yes. But I don't think he will. And I can totally understand his stance as well. I think any player, when you get into early 30s, I think there's always a conversation of, would their club be better served if they retired from international football? And I think more often than not, the answer is going to be yes. But he's the national team captain. He's a very proud Scottish man. So it's not for me to tell him what to do with his international career. But would it benefit? Yes. I feel like it would.